Have you ever wondered why some people are permanently happy despite seemingly adverse circumstances, while others, even with everything they could wish for, often seem dissatisfied? It is no coincidence that you are on this journey today, and the universe has led you right here to discover the hidden secrets of happiness. We begin with a deep truth that combines science and ancient wisdom: your happiness is not left to chance. It is not a fleeting feeling that depends on external circumstances. Rather, it is a skill that you can cultivate within yourself, a state of being that you can actively create and shape. In modern neurobiology, we now know that happiness is not simply an emotional phenomenon, it has deep roots in the structure of your brain. Your thoughts and emotions literally shape the neural connections in your brain. Imagine your mind is like a garden in which every belief, every emotion, and every thought is a seed that can germinate and grow. When you cultivate negative thoughts and stressful emotions, you build a network of neural connections that binds you to suffering, fear, and doubt. But the wonderful thing is, you can reprogram your mind. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a master at building the bridge between science and spiritual wisdom, has developed profound methods to transform the mind. It teaches that our brain is plastic, which means it can change. Every thought you consciously choose changes the structure of your brain. Over time, you begin to experience your reality in a new way by replacing old, limiting patterns with new ones that empower. It is a process that requires patience and dedication, but the rewards are immeasurable. Dr. Dispenza's approaches are based on the fact that the mind, body, and heart must work in harmony to create true, long-term happiness. Your brain may be the starting point, but your body and your heart are the instruments that firmly anchor happiness in your being. When you harmonize your thoughts and feelings, you create an energy field that not only attracts, but also radiates happiness. It is a dance between the dimensions of your being, mind, body, and heart that can put you in a state of deep, lasting joy. And this is the key: happiness is not something that exists outside of you. It is an inner alchemy that you can cultivate, a conscious decision that you make every day. Now that you've gained insight into the science behind happiness, we're preparing to dive deeper into the first steps of this transformation. You will discover how to reprogram your mind to unfold your happiness in every facet of your life. It all starts in your mind. Your thoughts are the masterminds of your reality, and what you think becomes over time what you feel, experience, and attract. In the depths of your consciousness are patterns that are repeated every day, often unconsciously. These thoughts and beliefs shape not only your perception of the world, but also your experiences. It's like an inner dialogue that is constantly going on and painting the picture of your reality. But here comes the amazing truth: you can consciously change this dialogue. You can reprogram your mind. Every thought you think leaves a trail in your brain. If you keep thinking the same thought, this track becomes a deep path, a neural network. Imagine these thoughts are like footpaths in the woods. The more often you walk the same path, the clearer it becomes. The same thing happens in your brain. Repeated thoughts strengthen certain neural connections, and the more often you believe in something, whether positive or negative, the deeper that pattern is anchored in your brain. This means that negative thoughts, if they are remembered over and over again, become automatic programs that affect your daily life. It's like your brain is in a continuous loop mode that's keeping you trapped in old, negative thought patterns. But the great thing is, just as you built these negative networks, you can also dismantle them and replace them with new, positive patterns. To recognize these negative thought patterns, you must first practice mindfulness. Observe your thoughts consciously. When do negative thought patterns appear? How often do you criticize yourself, doubt, or see things negatively? Once you've recognized these patterns, you can start transforming them. Every time a negative thought comes up, deliberately ask yourself a counter-question: is that really true? You will often find that these thoughts are based on old fears or experiences that have long been outdated. One of the most effective techniques for reprogramming the mind is meditation. In meditation, you calm the noise of everyday life and give your mind space to renew itself. Through targeted meditation, you can learn to direct your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. Dr. Joe Dispenza emphasizes the power of meditation to reprogram the subconscious. If you use positive thoughts and visualizations during meditation, you begin to create new neural networks in your brain. You see and feel your future self as if it already exists, and thereby set the universe in motion to bring that vision into reality. Another powerful step is the visualization. Imagine that you are painting the picture of your ideal life in your mind. What does your life look like when you live the thoughts and beliefs that bring you happiness and fulfillment? Feel the joy, the peace, and the fulfillment as if they were already here. Your brain cannot recognize the difference between imagination and reality. It will accept this new vision as truth and begin to change your neural networks accordingly. The secret lies in the repetition. Just as negative thought patterns are strengthened by constant repetition, you can create new paths in your brain through conscious, positive thoughts and visualizations. Start renewing your thoughts and inner beliefs every day. Pay attention to how you speak, think, and act. Every time you notice a negative thought, replace it with a positive one, and be patient with yourself. You are about to shape your mind into a powerful tool. Now that you understand how to reprogram your mind, we come to the next important step. It's about dissolving emotional blockages that may still prevent you from developing your full potential. Let us now continue on this path together. Each of us carries emotional patterns that have been shaped over years and are deeply anchored in our subconscious. These old emotions, be it fear, guilt, anger, or grief, often act as invisible shackles that prevent us from experiencing true happiness and inner peace. But what if you could recognize and solve these blockages? What if you could clear the space within you to receive the happiness and joy that are already waiting for you? Emotions are not just fleeting states. They leave traces in your body and mind, shaping your behavior and your reactions. When you carry old emotional wounds in you, they not only affect how you react to life, but also how you see yourself. These blockages are like walls that cover your full potential. But once you recognize that you have the power to tear down these walls, you begin to pave the way to true freedom. The first important realization on this journey is, emotions are energy. Every emotion you feel, whether positive or negative, carries a certain vibration within it. When you capture old, stressful emotions like resentment, fear, or insecurity, that energy gets stuck in your body and mind. It blocks the free flow of your life and keeps you trapped in ancient patterns. But this energy can be transformed. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches us that we can dissolve emotional blockages through mindfulness and conscious transformation. The first step is to become aware of these emotions. This means that you have to allow yourself to look deeply inside yourself and feel the emotions that you may have repressed for a long time. Only when you recognize them in their depths can you begin to let them go. Mindfulness is your strongest tool. By taking the time to focus on your breath and feel inside yourself, you can find the places in your body where emotional blockages have settled. You may feel a tightness in your chest or a pressure in your stomach. These are often indications that unresolved emotions are stored there. By consciously watching these emotions without judging or suppressing them, you begin to take the first step towards healing. A practical tip for dissolving emotional blockages is the practice of conscious breathing. Breathe deeply, feel the tension that sits in your body, and then breathe it out slowly and consciously. Feel how the emotional charge becomes lighter with each breath. You can also imagine letting go of old energies and creating space for new, healing energies. This technique can be incredibly liberating, especially if you regularly integrate it into your daily life. Another powerful tool to break through emotional blockages is forgiveness, not only towards others, but especially towards yourself. Old emotions such as resentment or guilt can settle deep in your subconscious and block your energy. By forgiving yourself and others for past mistakes or injuries, you create space for healing. Forgiveness is not to excuse the behavior of others, but to free yourself from the emotional burden that binds you. The process of dissolving emotional blockages requires courage and patience, but the reward is immeasurable. When you let go of these old energies, you will feel a lightness and freedom that previously seemed unattainable. Your mind becomes clearer, your body becomes more relaxed, and you will realize that you have more space to receive happiness and joy in your life. Now that you've figured out the way to resolve emotional blockages, it's time to move on to the next level of transformation. In the next chapter, we will look at how you can shape your reality through the power of your consciousness. Your awareness is the key to everything you experience. Everything you perceive in your life, every situation, every encounter, even your own reactions to it, springs from the space of your consciousness. And here lies one of the most powerful truths: when you change your consciousness, you change your reality. The way you think about yourself, about others, and about life determines what you take out into the world, and what you ultimately get back. Your consciousness is like an antenna that constantly receives and transmits signals. When you focus your consciousness on negative thoughts and beliefs, on lack, fear, or doubt, you send this frequency out into the universe. The universe, which reacts like a mirror to your inner world, reflects this frequency and draws into your life exactly what resonates with these thoughts and beliefs. So you attract more of what you actually want to avoid. But here's the good news: when you focus your consciousness on fullness, joy, and love, the frequency you emit changes, and the universe begins to reflect those positive vibrations. Dr. Joe Dispenza often explains this process using quantum physics. Our thoughts and emotions create an electromagnetic field around us that affects not only our inner world, but also the reality around us. Your thoughts are like seeds that you plant in the infinite field of consciousness. And depending on which thoughts you choose, these seeds grow to your experienced reality. The first step to changing consciousness is to make yourself aware of where you are currently being focused on your consciousness. What beliefs do you carry within you? Do you think you're worth being happy, or do you feel somewhere deep inside that you don't deserve it? Do you believe in the fullness of life, or are you focused on lack? By asking yourself these questions and looking honestly at your inner answers, you begin to create the space for a change in your consciousness. Techniques such as affirmations and visualizations are powerful tools to align your awareness with what you want to experience in your life. An affirmation is a positive, affirmative sentence that you repeatedly say or think about to reprogram your subconscious. For example, I'm worth being happy. I draw fullness and love into my life. The more you repeat these affirmations, the deeper they become anchored in your subconscious and begin to shape your perception and reality. Visualization is another powerful tool that helps you change your consciousness. When you vividly imagine in your mind that you are already living in the reality you want, you begin to align your subconscious with it. You see yourself in a state of happiness, fullness, and love. Your brain cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. It will react to this vision as if it were already reality. And this is where the magic begins. Through the power of your consciousness, you shape your future reality by preparing your subconscious to receive this vision. Gratitude is also a key to this transformation. By already being grateful for what you want to experience in your life, you align your awareness with fullness. Gratitude opens your heart and sends a powerful message to the universe: I am ready to receive the good in my life. Through this conscious act of gratitude, you raise your vibration to a higher level and bring positive experiences into your life. Now that you've understood the power of changing consciousness, it's time to learn how to integrate these practices into your everyday life to create a lastingly happy life. In the next chapter we will devote ourselves to this topic: how to describe the daily path to a happy life. Happiness is not something you achieve once and then keep forever. It's an ongoing process, a decision you make every day. It's the small, everyday actions and thoughts that steer your life in a new direction. Happiness arises through conscious routines and rituals that nourish your inner well-being and bring you into the right vibration again and again. But how can you walk this path of happiness on a daily basis? Imagine your life as a garden that needs to be cared for. Every day you water your plants with positive thoughts and emotions. But as with a real garden, this does not mean that you can give water once and then hope for a rich harvest forever. It requires care, attention, and a continuous dedication to what you want to create. The daily path to a happy life begins right here, in the loving care of your inner garden. One of the most important routines you can integrate into your life is daily meditation. It's like an anchor that keeps you in your inner space, no matter how chaotic life around you seems. Meditation calms your mind and gives you the opportunity to clear your thoughts and emotions. Dr. Joe Dispenza emphasizes that meditation is not just a technique for relaxation, but a method of transforming your consciousness. By going into silence every day, you open yourself to the inner messages of your higher self and prepare your mind for the happiness you want to create. Another powerful ritual is the exercise of gratitude. Start your day by making yourself aware of what you are grateful for in your life. It can be as simple as the sunrise, a deep breath, or the people who are close to you. Gratitude puts your consciousness in a vibration of fullness. You focus on what is already good and valuable in your life, instead of focusing on what is missing. This simple practice lifts your energy and puts you in a positive mood that sets the tone for the whole day. An important part of the daily path to happiness is also the conscious setting of intentions. Every morning before you start your day, take a moment to decide how you want to organize your day. What energy do you want to radiate today? What thoughts and emotions do you want to carry in you? By setting your intention, you are focusing your awareness on what you want to create in your life. You take the reins in hand and decide which direction your day and ultimately your life should take. Movement also plays an important role in the daily path to happiness. Your body is the vehicle that carries your energy, and if you treat it well, the energy also flows more easily. Find a form of movement that gives you pleasure, be it yoga, dancing, walking, or another activity that revitalizes your body and gets your energy going. Physical exercise not only helps to reduce tension, but also to balance the energies in the body, so that you feel lighter and freer. All of these practices, meditation, gratitude, conscious intentions, and movement, are like pieces of a puzzle that come together to shape the image of a happy life. They don't require radical changes or big efforts, but small, conscious decisions that you make every day. And the more you integrate these routines into your life, the deeper the feeling of happiness will become anchored in you. Now that you know how to walk the path to happiness through daily rituals and conscious routines, let's move on to the challenges you might encounter on this path. In the next chapter, you will learn how to overcome these challenges and stay on track in difficult moments. The path to happiness is not a straight path. It is full of curves, hills, and sometimes even obstacles that can cause you to doubt or lose faith in your inner transformation. But in truth, it is precisely these challenges that can trigger the most profound change in you. They are touchstones on your path, and by learning to meet them with clarity and courage, you can anchor the happiness you seek even more deeply within yourself. But how do you deal with these challenges? How do you stay on track when the old patterns and doubts threaten to overpower you? One of the most common challenges on this path is to deal with setbacks. Maybe you've already made great progress, you feel lighter and happier, and suddenly everything seems to collapse. Old thought patterns reappear, the same negative emotions return. But instead of being discouraged by these setbacks, you should recognize them as part of the process. No change happens without hurdles. Dr. Joe Dispenza reminds us that the brain needs time to form new neural networks. The old, deeply anchored patterns sometimes fight back before they can be finally let go. So setbacks are nothing more than a sign that you're on the right track, even if it feels different at the moment. When you realize that old patterns and doubts reappear, it is important not to fall into the old trap of self-doubt. Instead, remember the progress you've already made. Consciously pay attention to how far you have come and accept that regressions are also part of the growth process. This is a moment when you have to be patient with yourself, something that is often easier said than done. But the more you cultivate this patience, the faster you will realize that the negative patterns are losing strength. Another challenge on the way to happiness is the temptation to escape back into old habits and routines. Maybe you have a stressful week and the old behaviors, such as excessive worry or self-criticism, will return. At this point, it's crucial that you remember why you've taken that path in the first place. It can help to keep a diary in which you record your progress, your positive experiences, and your intentions. This will serve as an anchor in difficult times and remind you that the decision to be happy is a conscious, daily practice. Distractions are also a frequent stumbling block. The modern world is full of distractions, from social media to the countless demands of everyday life. These external influences can easily distract you from your inner work. That's why it's important to integrate times of retreat into your everyday life to reconnect with yourself. Consciously plan times when you separate yourself from the external distractions and go into silence. This gives you the opportunity to refocus on your goals and well-being. Sometimes the biggest challenge on your way to happiness will be the voice of your own ego. That inner voice will tell you that you are not worth being happy, that you will fail, or that you should rather focus on what is realistic. The ego often lives in fear and tries to keep you in your comfort zone, even if that zone makes you unhappy. Here it is important to recognize the voice of the ego and not to fall for it. Learn to question that voice. Is it really true what she says? Or is it just an illusion that wants to keep you from your happiness? One of the most powerful ways to get through these challenges is to stay in touch with your inner confidence. Trust in yourself and in the process. Dr. Joe Dispenza emphasizes that we are often just a few steps away from a breakthrough, just when it seems most difficult. Hold on, even if the doubts get loud, and trust that every step you take, no matter how small, will bring you closer to your goal. Now that we have discussed how you can overcome the challenges on your way to happiness, we will go one step further in the next chapter. We will look at examples and success stories of people who have already gone this path and have experienced profound changes in their lives through Dr. Dispenza's methods. Sometimes it's hard to believe that real change is possible, especially when you feel trapped in the midst of old patterns and negative emotions. But there are countless examples of people who have taken exactly that path, people who have changed not only their way of thinking, but also their whole life through Dr. Joe Dispenza's approaches. These stories are living proof that you can transform your life, no matter how deep you are stuck in your old self. One of these stories comes from a woman who struggled with chronic pain for years. No doctor could help her, and her quality of life had dropped drastically. She felt trapped in a cycle of pain and hopelessness. But when she began to integrate the teachings of Dr. Dispenza into her life, everything changed. She learned to reprogram her mind, to recognize and dissolve the emotional blockages that held her. Through daily meditation and visualizations, she created the image of a pain-free life in her mind. She imagined how it would feel to live in complete health, and over time, these inner images began to manifest in her reality. Her pain disappeared, and she experienced a physical healing that seemed unthinkable before. Another inspiring example is the story of a man who was in financial difficulties for a long time. He felt that life kept putting stones in his way, and although he worked hard, he never seemed to break out of the vicious circle of deprivation. But when he began to use the principles of Dr. Dispenza, his attitude to money and fullness changed. He realized that his beliefs about lack were deeply rooted in his childhood and shaped his reality. By consciously working with affirmations and visualizing a life in abundance, he was able to dissolve his financial blockages. Within a few months, not only his attitude towards money changed, but also his external circumstances. New professional opportunities arose, and he experienced how the universe responded to him in a positive way. These stories are not just exceptions. They show what's possible when you're ready to change your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your awareness. Dr. Joe Dispenza repeatedly emphasizes that our reality is a direct reflection of our inner world. When you make the inner changes, your outer world will adapt. These success stories make it clear that each of us has the power to change our lives, regardless of the challenges they face. There are many people who have used Dr. Dispenza's methods to improve their physical health, heal emotional wounds, or take their professional life to a new level. What all these stories have in common is the inner determination and confidence in the process. These people, like you, had doubts and challenges, but they remained persistent and consistently implemented the principles they had learned. You may wonder if such changes are also possible in your life. The answer is a clear yes. The stories of these people show that the key to true change lies in you. If you're ready to do the work of transforming your mind and creating new, powerful beliefs, you can achieve the same amazing results. Your potential is unlimited, and the successes of other people are the living proof of what is possible. Now that you've heard these inspiring stories, you're ready to take the last step on this journey. In the next chapter, we summarize everything and consider how you can apply all these wisdoms and practices in your life to change your reality in your favor. Now that you've walked this way this far, you already have some of the most powerful tools and wisdom in your hands to change your reality and create lasting happiness in your life. The journey began with understanding how your mind, your thoughts, and your emotions are connected, and led you through the crucial steps of transformation, from reprogramming your mind to resolving emotional blockages. You have learned how to focus your consciousness on fullness, joy, and love to create a new, fulfilled reality. And you've heard stories from people who have already walked this path and proved that profound change is possible for each of us. Now is the moment when you take full responsibility for your life. You are the creator of your reality, and the life you want is in your hands. By consciously applying these steps and practices, you have the opportunity to consolidate your inner happiness and lead the life that corresponds to your true self. Remember that this is a process, a daily, conscious decision to choose happiness. There are no quick solutions, and you will always encounter challenges on your way. But now you have the tools to deal with these challenges and learn from them. Every setback is an opportunity to go deeper, become stronger, and learn more about yourself. An important part of this journey is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in life. Even if everything doesn't always change right away, remember that every little positive change is part of the big picture. The more you reprogram your mind and emotions, the more your external reality will change in accordance with your new, happy self. The path may not always be easy, but it leads you to a place of inner freedom and joy. Imagine how you live your new, happy self every day. How you consciously get up every morning and decide on the thoughts and feelings that serve you. How to focus your mind on fullness, love, and gratitude and send this positive energy into the world with every breath. You become a beacon of happiness not only for yourself, but also for others. Your transformation will not only affect your life, but also the lives of the people around you. At the end of this journey, a simple but powerful message remains: you have everything you need to change your reality. You're already what you're looking for. The happiness you want is in you, you just have to unfold it. With every conscious thought, every positive emotion, and every loving action, you come closer to this state of inner peace and joy. Now it's up to you to put everything you've learned into action. You're ready. You have the tools, knowledge, and wisdom to create the life you've always wanted. Trust the process, and remember that the universe is always working with you to support you. Finally, all that remains for me to say is that you are the architect of your life. Go out into the world, set your intentions, follow your heart, and trust that the best is yet to come.